and gentlemen, your attention, please. Let's meet the players for tonight's game. First, the visiting Northfield Knights, as they call your name and number, take a spot along the third base foul line and remain there through the national anthem. Batting first for the Knights, playing center field, number 8 is Scott Benjamin. Batting second, the shortstop, number 6, Thomas Milan. Batting third, playing first base, number 9 is Alden Severson. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 40, Jim Moss. Batting fifth, second baseman, number 5, Jake Matheson. Batting sixth, right fielder, number 2, Ryan Corbinson. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 47, Sam Moss. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 1, Troy Eden. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 4, Sam Stockmayer. And on the mound for the Knights tonight, number 39 is John Ludwig. And they're joined by the reserve. Let's hear it for your Northfield Knights. Now for your home team, the two-time defending Class B state champion, Chanhassen Red Birds. Leading off, center fielder number 2, Nick Smith. And second, the shortstop, number 1, head coach, Brandon Arnold. And third, playing third base, number 4, Michael Jurgella. Batting fourth, first baseman, number 24, Zach Hoffman. Batting fifth, catcher, number 23, Ben Lavorsi. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 6, Aaron Lepner. Batting seventh, right fielder, number 10, Jackson Goblin. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 3, Derek Smith. Batting ninth, left fielder number 5, Aaron Paff. And down in the bullpen, the starting pitcher for tonight's game, number 17, is John Straka. And the reserves for the Chanhassen Red Birds. Let's hear it for your Chanhassen Red Birds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I direct your attention behind home plate. The voice of Shakopee baseball and Minnesota Golden Gopher football, basketball, and baseball, Dick Jankowski.
Thank you, my friend Billy. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a youngster here tonight to sing our national anthem. He's 14 years old. He'll be a ninth grader this fall. He's been involved in Twin Cities Theater, as well as singing in the Shakopee School of Theater Productions. He played with the Eagles, played the piano, and a great tenor saxophone. Favorite memory of singing, he sang at the Super Bowl in 2018, where the Eagles played the Patriots here in Minneapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Henry Bappo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the
Rifle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, starting off for first pitch. First pitch. A good pitch of Toronto. This is where your 8th pitch up to the round here on the first pitch.
The 2020 Class B Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.
And good evening and welcome to Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee for the second weekend of the State B Amateur Baseball Tournament. I'm Steve Thompson. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a great evening for a ball game tonight, and the two-time defending Class B champ, Chanhassen Red Birds, will be the home team tonight, and they take on the Northfield Knights. Chanhassen had to play 2 days, last Friday night and finish their game Sunday in a win over St. Michael's 7-5. Meanwhile, Northfield played on Saturday morning, starting Saturday morning, finishing early Saturday afternoon and beating East Grand Forks 9-5. And we're just about ready for the ball game tonight here at Joe Schlepper Stadium on PrepSpotlight.tv. Of course, action continues tomorrow. In the early game at 1, Champlain Park will play Meesville. And then in the late game, in the two later games, at 4, Elko against Cold Spring. And then Dundas battles the Moorhead Brewers.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, we've got great.
And then on Sunday, play continues between the winners today, and then, of course, the State B wraps up next weekend here at Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee. Attendance limited to 250 fans. So when we have multiple games in a day here at the Joe, they clear the ballpark and let fans in for the next game. Not a problem tonight. Just one game, two-time defending champ Chanhassen takes on Northfield, and we're going to set that Northfield batting order. They are the visitor. Scott Benjamin will lead off and play in center field. Thomas Melland will play at shortstop. He'll be at second. Alden Severson's over at first. He'll be at third. Batting cleanup left fielder Tim Moss. Batting fifth, it'll be at second base Jake Matheson. Batting sixth, the right fielder Ryan Torbenson. Batting seventh, the catcher Sam Moss. Batting eighth, the catcher Troy Deeden. And then batting ninth, the DH Sam Stockmeyer. For Chanhassen defensively, no change from their game 1 week ago in their opening round victory over St. Michael. In the outfield, Aaron Paff. In center fielder, Jackson Goplin. And in right, Derek Smith. Around the infield, starting at third, Michael Gergella. At short, Brandon Arnold. At second base, Aaron Klepner. And at first base, Zach Hoffman. Behind the plate, Ben Lavorsi. And starting, John Straka. And Straka had a whale of a start a week ago. Of course, that game delayed by rain on Friday night, not once but twice. And going into that second weather delay, they decided to postpone until Sunday night. Straka worked 6, 5 hits, 2 runs, struck out 7, didn't walk anybody for the Redbirds. So he is a tough customer, finishing his warm-up tosses on the mound. Meanwhile, Scott Benjamin did not play in the opening win over East Grand Forks. He batted .333 during the regular season for Northfield. Redbirds wearing their red tops and white pants. Northfield gray pants and black jerseys for the game here tonight. And we still have sun on the field, and you can see it there on your screen wherever you're watching here on PrepSpotlight.tv. But some shadows, but that sun will disappear quickly. I guess that's one of the drawbacks of getting into late August in this part of the world. The sun goes down a whole lot earlier than it did earlier in the summer. But shadows will be a factor, particularly for the shortstop and in the gap out in left center field. 330 down the lines, 355 in the power alleys, 375 to center here at the Joe, and it's a great setting for a ball game. And the 97th Class B state tournament, second weekend of action underway, and we are ready to go. And the first pitch of the game is a strike. Outside corner, top of the zone to Benjamin. 0-1 the count. Once again, Benjamin, no at-bats, did not play a week ago in East Grand Forks. There's a swing and a miss. Struck quickly ahead, 0-2. We'll have all the action here tomorrow, of course. The early game at 1, Champlain Park in Meesville. And there's a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Benjamin goes down. And now that'll bring up shortstop Thomas Mellon. Mellon wearing 6, playing at short. 2 batters in a row for Northfield. Benjamin wearing 8, playing in center field. Now Mellon playing at short, wearing number 6. As I've said before, I love that synergy. Good crowd on hand. Once again, crowd limited. These games typically come very close to selling out. There's a big swing and a miss. And now it's 1-1. Mellon 2 for 5. 2 runs and an RBI. And that win over East Grand Forks. Here's one hit well to right field, but tracking it down is Derek Smith. Allowed out, but 2 away. Nobody aboard. And the batter will be Alden Severson playing at first base. 3 for 4, 3 RBI, and a run scored. And that win over East Grand Forks. And Severson, a key guy, 292 during the regular year, 13 RBI, 8 walks, got hit by 8 pitches this season for the Northfield Knights. Not a long trip up to Shakopee. And certainly not a long trip for the Red Birds either. Shakopee kind of midway between. Strike 1, strike 2. So Strzok doing a good job here in the first frame. Nobody aboard, 2 away, top of the first. Northfield batting. There's a swing and a miss. He strikes out 2. A 1-2-3 top of the first. The 2-time defending Class B champs coming to bat here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Welcome back to the Joe in Shakopee. A bit of a breeze, but it's at our back. This park faces southeast. And the breeze certainly blowing out here at the Joe. So we may see a long ball here. Now let's set Northfield defensively. John Ludwig taking his warm-up tosses. Sam Moss is the catcher. In the outfield, Tim Moss in left, Scott Benjamin in center, Ryan Torbenson in right, Troy Deaton at third, Thomas Mellon at short, Jake Matheson at second, and Alden Severson at first. Once again, the right-hander Ludwig on the mound. We'll tell you a little bit about Ludwig. 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 14 strikeouts, and 2 walks, and that win over East Grand Forks. Now for the 2-time defending champ Redbirds. Leading off, the DH Nick Smith did not play, and that win over St. Michael last weekend. Batting second, the head coach, shortstop Brandon Arnold. Batting third, at third base, Michael Giorgelli. Batting cleanup, Zach Hoffman, playing down at first. Batting fifth, the catcher Ben Lavorsi. Batting sixth at second base, Aaron Klepner. He had a monster game against St. Michael. Batting seventh in center fielder Jackson Goblin. Batting eighth in right field, Derek Smith. And batting ninth in left field, Aaron Paff. And those are your Redbirds, and we're just about ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning. Here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Thanks so much for joining us. 3 games tomorrow, 2 on Sunday at 1 and 4. And then we return here Friday night, September 4th for a game. And, of course, the final weekend of the Class B here at the Joe. weather a week ago. It doesn't look like weather's going to be a factor tonight. And the first pitch of the game from Ludwig is ball one. Nick Smith during the year, key guy, 354, 17 hits, 5 of those home runs, 18 RBI in the season. So Smith leading it off. And he is a really good hitter, and he was not available for duty, and Brandon Arnold put him into the leadoff spot tonight. Two and 0 to Smith. And he can run a little bit. You don't want to put him on. Smith now ahead 3-0 in the count. So certainly not the start that Ludwig and the Knights wanted here. And he gets a 4-pitch walk to start the ball game. So a good start for the Redbirds. And Smith out of Chanhassen. That's going to bring up Brandon Arnold. Brandon Arnold, the shortstop, calls the shots. 1 for 5, had a double. And that win over St. Michael in the state tournament opener. .291 during the year. 20 hits, 15 runs, 3 home runs during the season. And now he's got a runner on. And he's got a runner that's got some wheels out there. And Nick Smith to start it off. So Ludwig from the stretch delivers strike one, first of the ball game there. And after 4 bad ones, finds the zone. Smith only has 1 steal on the year, gets a pretty good lead, and he'll scamper back. Sam Moss looked down there, but didn't throw behind the runner. Alden Severson holding him at first for the Knights. 1-1 the count. 1 on. There in the bottom of the first. This one hit in the air to center field. Tracking is Benjamin to the track. Makes the catch. Well, Arnold hit a long way. But Benjamin had time to cruise over and make the grab. Just a step on the track. Hauled it in. Now 1 away, it'll be Michael Gergella. He was 1 for 3 with a walk in that win over St. Michael. Gergella 328 on the year, 3 home runs, 12 RBI. Leadoff walk for Smith, now 1 away. And there's a good fastball up in the zone, strike 1, right at the letters. Ludwig 4 bad ones. He gives up the long fly ball to the wall to Arnold, but it's an out. Got a real big lead for Smith. Here's one right back up the middle. Could be 2. Did they beat him to the bag? Yes, on to first, double play. And Mellon turns it 6-6-3. Just like that, the Knights are out of the inning. We played 1 here at the State B Amateur Baseball Tournament on PrepSpotlight.tv. On to inning number 2 here at the Joe on a delightful Friday night, wherever you're watching. We move to the top of the second for Northfield, 4, 5, and 6. Tim Moss, Jake Matheson, and Ryan Torbenson. And they will face John Straka, who had a very good first inning, set him down 1-2-3. And struck out 2 in that first inning of work. Well, the Knights trying to get a base runner. Moss 1 for 5. Had that slam in that Knights victory over East Grand Forks. And Lost during the year 280. 75 at-bats. 21 hits. 5 doubles. 4 home runs. '21 RBI. We'll see what he can do to get him going here in inning number 2.
Top of the second inning for Northfield, leading off the left fielder.
Chanhassen's been a roll. They won their opener. They dropped their second game. Since then, they've won 19 in a row. So the defending two-time champs looking the part. They are 20-1 coming into weekend number 2 of the State B here at the Joe. And the first, we got a time called before Straka can deliver his first pitch of the inning, and now we're all set to go. Dragella at third, Arnold at short, Klepner at second, Hoffman at first, Lavorsi behind the plate. And now Straka is ready to go and delivers. And here's one hit in the air down the left field line. It drops. Dragella out from third. He's going to hold him to a long single, but that was just hit in the air right down the line. And the first hit of the game for Tim Moss is a bloop single on the chalk. That'll bring up Jake Matheson. 1 for 4, scored 3 runs in that win over East Grand Forks. Matheson 267 on the year, 20 hits, 13 RBI. He had 6 doubles. And now Straka from the stretch. And here's one hit in the air to left, but it's right at Paff. Paff makes the catch, 1 away. Hit it well, but right at him. 1 on, 1 out, top of the second inning. And that'll bring up Ryan Torberson. Did not play in the win over East Grand Forks on weekend number 1 of the State B. Torberson's going to dig in here. Torberson from Northfield. And these teams, have players from their neck of the woods. But a good chunk of their squad from Northfield. The home of Carlton and St. Olaf. Another first pitch swing into center field. Goplin coming over to his right, makes a catch. Left center field. And now 2 away. And a runner still at first in Moss. And that'll bring up Sam Moss, the catcher. Sam Moss, 217 on the year. 15 hits, 5 doubles. He had 8 walks, got hit by a pitch 3 times. Sam Moss 0 for 5 in the tourney opener. Northfield played the early game on Saturday, beating East Grand Forks 9-5. So we're moving right along. We started at 7:30. And here's the pitch. Runner goes, throws down to second, high, and a stolen base. Moss steals it. And now they have a runner at second with 2 outs. And ball 1 the count to Sam Moss. So Tim Moss steals it. And that's his 7th steal of the year, which is by far and away the Knights team lead. And he really didn't have an opportunity because the batters in front of him were swinging at first pitches. Here's a strike. 1-1 to Sam Moss, with Tim down at second base for the Knights. There's a big swing and a miss. Strock had 2 strikeouts in inning number 1. Now he's ahead here 1-2 as he tries to get out of a mini jam. Still a little humidity in the air. I thought that would clear after we had the storms move through overnight. There's still some thunderheads off in the distance. Here's one right back to the screen. Count rides along at 1-2. Runner on second, 2 away, top of the second inning. The winner will play Sunday at 1 against the winner of that Champlain Park Meesville game. That should be a good one tomorrow. Champlain Park has a pretty good lefty in Jerry Gooley, who might give the mud hands a little trouble tomorrow. 1-2 pitch hit in the air. Coming back toward the backstop is Lavorsi. Ran out of room. Got into the netting, but he was back there. And we're protected by a grandstand here at the Joe. But I would expect the wind to help some fly balls. And we've had some fly balls carry deep. We haven't had anything go out of the ballpark, of course. Count rides along at 1-2. Runner at second, 2 away. Top of inning number 2. Weather looks good tomorrow and again on Sunday. And the pitch fouled back. And that hits the roof. Maybe you could hear that. Got the sheet metal roof over the grandstand, which came in really handy a week ago when we had showers move through. We were high and dry in our spot. We're right in front of the box, and it's really a great spot to view the game. There's one upstairs now, 2-2. And it was a weird night because the predictions were a week ago for that Chanhassen St. Michael tournament opener here at the B was that the rain would hold off till later. Well, it didn't. And then after that lengthy rain delay, we came back to play, and then it just got so darn windy and storm clouds were brewing, and they decided to call it and come back on Sunday night. And you got to give St. Michael credit because their road to the state tournament wasn't easy. St. Michael took down Blaine, the number 4 team, a perennial power playing out of the Metro Mini. They beat the Blaine Fusion 2 straight to punch their ticket here, and then they take the 2-time defending champs right down to the wire, and that game that concluded on Sunday night falling 7-5. So St. Michael played really well at the end of the season. They had struggles early, but they cranked it up at the right time and knocked out the Fusion and almost took down the Red Birds. Now it's 3-2. 2 away, runner at second. Sam Moss quite not bad here as he battles John Straka. And now we got a timeout. So a good job by Moss making Straka work after an easy first. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball out. Easy 1-2-3. Now gives up the leadoff single to Tim Moss. Now Sam Moss battling him with 2 outs. And he strikes him out. Caught him looking, got the outside part of the plate. So Northfield gets a hit. They leave one, and after 1.5, we're still scoreless here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
So 3 games tomorrow. And then the winners of these 4 games will
Last summer's Emmy-nominated documentary Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota is now available on Amazon Prime. Watch all 8 episodes and learn about the more than 100-year history of amateur baseball in Minnesota. Welcome back to the Joe in Shakopee. We move to the bottom of the 2nd inning. We are scoreless. John Straka, 3 strikeouts, giving up a hit for the Red Birds. His counterpart, John Ludwig, gave up a walk and then got a 6-3 double play to end the inning, so he's faced the minimum. And for the Red Birds, it'll be Zach Hoffman, Ben Lavorsi, and Aaron Klepner. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the 2-time defending state champs. Hoffman 0 for 2 with a walk and an RBI.
for the Red Birds. First
in that win over St. Michael on the year. 413, 2 home runs, 15 RBI. Now 16 after that state tournament game a week ago. Well, actually 6 days ago. It wrapped up on Sunday night. There's a big swing and a miss. Good pitch by Ludwig. And 0-1 the count. I'll be here tomorrow for that 1 o'clock game between the Mud Hens and the Low Gators. Miesville, a perennial power. There's a pitch outside, 1-1. And here in the second weekend, Miesville, Dundas alive. Cold Spring, Moorhead Brewers, Elko, Champlain Park, pretty good program now. Chanhassen, Northfield. Good tournament field. There is a strike, 1-2. Outside corner, another good pitch by Ludwig. And Ludwig started out with 4 bad ones to Nick Smith. Got Brandon Arnold on a long fly ball to the track and left center field. And then got that double play ball. His shortstop, Mellon, stepped on second, throw to first over to Severson in time. 6-6-3. Or the 6-3 double play. 1-2 now the count. There's a big swing and a miss, and first strikeout for Ludwig. 1 away, nobody aboard. That'll bring up catcher Ben Lavorsi. 0 for 3 in the tournament opener on the year. 259, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs for the Redbirds catcher. Ludwig, 14 strikeouts in their tournament opener. And I've got to go back to the box score to make sure I didn't write that down wrong. Well, he had 14 strikeouts, 2 walks. I didn't read it wrong. You know, sometimes you write things down in the scorebook and it's like, wait a minute, I better go check and make sure. So his first strikeout comes here to lead off inning number 2. Lavorsi looks at strike 1. There's another swing and a miss. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Lifted foul and out of play. The only change in the lineup they had was Nick Smith coming into the DH spot. And Arnold led off in the game a week ago, so Smith back available for duty. And that moved Ryan Deers back to the bench. So now 1-2 the count. The catcher, Ben Lavorsi. He's from Minnetonka. And a big swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2. Nobody aboard, 2 away, and that'll bring up Aaron Kleppner. Kleppner had a monster game against St. Michael. 4 for 4, 3 doubles, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. Coming into that game, he had 8 doubles on the year. So he goes from 8 to 11 in a state tournament game. So Kleppner was big time in that victory. And he plays at second base, and there's a swing and a miss. Strike 1. So Ludwig, after very early control problems, certainly settled down here and on track to strike out the side. Here's one laced into left field, base hit. Ellen went after it, couldn't get to it. So a 2-out hit for Goplin. That'll be the first hit of the game for the Red Birds. And now with a runner at first and 2 outs. That's going to bring up Goplin. Goplin 2 for 3, scored 3 runs in that win in the opener. 441 during the year, 2 home runs, 9 RBI. Goplin playing in center field. So Ludwig from the stretch delivers, big swing and a miss. Goplin couldn't catch up with it, strike 1. Ludwig got the first 2 of the inning. The field's in perfect shape. They've just done a phenomenal job. There's another swing and a miss. He pulled the string on one a little bit. And now it's 0-2. Three weekends of state tournament action here at the Joe. Runner goes. That one's fouled out of play. We'll do it all over again. 0-2, 2 away, runner at first. And Klepner was on the move. Goplin from North St. Paul. Runner goes again, down in the dirt, throw, not in time, stolen base. Klepner steals it. So Klepner so far in the state tournament, 5 for 5. And now Goplin an RBI opportunity, 1-2, 2 away, bottom of inning number 2. So 8 teams still alive. And then the final 4 move into double elimination mode. And the state tournament wraps up next weekend. There's a pitch high and away now, 2-2 to Goplin. Good at bat here for the center fielder. Derek Smith waiting on deck if we get that far. Shortstop Mellon trying to sneak in behind. Klepner as he takes his lead. And there's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, and that does it. So he battles back to strike out the side. He does give up a hit and a stolen base to Klepner. So the Redbirds get a hit, leave one, and after 2, we're still scoreless. Here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now a 3 in the butter. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Welcome back to Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee, site of the 2020 Class B State Amateur Baseball Tournament. And, of course, it's brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is a hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone and Wings Financial. We're for people like you. John Straka is a Chanhassen starter, and he's done a good job. 3 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody, given up a hit in 2 innings of work. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 Dedeen, Stockmeyer, and Benjamin. Troy Dedeen is playing at third base and leads it off for the Northfield Knights. Dedeen had a hit in 4 trips against the Forks. There's a pitch from Straka outside, ball 1. Kind of cut it loose and hopped in the air. Knew he missed on that one. There's one up in the zone. Quickly 2-0 to Dedeen. Dedeen out of Bloomington. Plays all around. Can catch a little bit. Plays on the infield. Has done some DH work. Wearing number 1. And now he's ahead 3-0. DH Sam Stockmeyer waiting on deck. And there's a strike right at the letters. Dedeen thought he had a leadoff walk. So now Straka 3-1. Off the fist into right field, a base hit. Goes the other way. Second hit of the game for Northfield. It's a leadoff single here in the third. That'll bring up DH Sam Stockmeyer. Stockmeyer 0 for 3, had a walk in that win over East Grand Forks a week ago. Well, the Knights trying to get something going against Straka. He had really good numbers. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. And that win over St. Michael. And there's a strike. Up in the zone, but it is in the zone. And 0-1. There's one in on the hands, but foul. Yeah, just a foul ball. Or did it pop out of? No, it is a strike. It was a foul. That was a little unusual. Maybe got the end of the bat. But it didn't hit him. 0-2 now to Stockmeyer. Stockmeyer from Dundas. And now time called. Took a while for Straka to deliver, and then Sam Stockmeyer backed out of there. He's the only guy from Dundas on the Northfield squad. Of course, Dundas plays Saturday night at 7 against Moorhead. The Brewers. There's a swing and a miss. Throw down to second, not in time. Scampering back is Dedeen. But Stockmeyer strikeout victim number 4 for John Straka, the Red Bird starter. We go to the top of the order, and Scott Benjamin, he struck out to start the game. He's 0 for 1. Good shot there. You can see the batter's eye. Runner at first, take his lead. And Benjamin dig in. From the stretch, the pitch. Strike 1. You got Benjamin on 3 pitches to start the ball game. Had 2 strikeouts in the first, 1 in the second. Now 1 here in the fourth. There's another swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one, and he has had Benjamin fooled. I wonder if in the back of his mind it's like, if I strike this guy out, I've spent 6 pitches striking out this guy twice. I'm sure that's going through Straka's mind a little bit. And the pitch, swing and a miss. 6 pitches, 2 strikeouts. Now Benjamin, that's the 5th of the game for Straka. And now it's going to bring up Thomas Mellon. Mellon playing in right field. Leadoff hit in inning number 2, a leadoff hit in the third for the Knights. They have 2 in the game. There's a fastball outside, ball 1 to Mellon. Glenn had a pretty good game, 2 for 5. Had that RBI against East Grand Forks. Flew out to right field. In inning number 1, he's 0 for 1. Still a pretty good breeze blowing. Definitely kind of up and out of here. It's definitely blowing out to maybe left center field at the moment. But a pretty good breeze here at the Joe. There's one up in the zone now, 2-0. I like the fact that the batter's eye here goes from ground level all the way up. You don't see that a ton, but it is a good look. Some mature trees out around the batter's eye. There's one inside, and a 4-pitch walk. And now runners at first and second. First walk given up by John Straka, the Redbird starter, and that's going to bring up their number 3 hitter. Playing down at first base, Alden Severson. He struck out to end the first. Deaton goes down to second. Ellen's at first. And Severson digs in. He had a monster game, 3 for 4. 3 RBI and a run scored in the tournament opener. This is weekend number 2. Still one weekend to go here at the Joe in the Class B. 97 years for this great event. And it was great that these guys were able to get a season in and able to have a state tournament, and the fact that they stepped up here in Shakopee and all the other towns. Of course, St. Anthony Village hosted the A. Minnetonka wins the title. Another title for the Millers. And the Class C continues this weekend and next as well. All the games on PrepSpotlight.tv. There's one inside, now 2-0. That is 6 bad ones in a row for John Straka. He's fighting his control a little bit here in inning number 3. Leadoff single for Deaton. Now a 2-0 walk to Mellon. And they have a 2-out threat going. And Straka's pitch up high. Now 3-0. And Straka didn't walk anybody in 6 innings of work, and it certainly is not his MO. This season coming into the state tournament, he's been very reliable. 3-0. And there's one at the letters. And now 3-1. Straka 2 walks coming into the state tournament. So what you saw a moment ago is a rarity. The 3-1. I don't know if it hit him. It was high and tight, and now they're loaded. Second walk in a row for Straka. And now coming in from third is Georgella. And now an opportunity for their cleanup hitter, Tim Moss. One hit. It was a home run, 4 RBI. Or as they call it, a grand slam. And he's in that spot right now with them loaded and 2 out, top of the third, Northfield. And Chanhassen, that one's off the glove of the catcher, Lavorsi. Runner to the plate. He's out of there. Well, Straka got in there and tagged him out. Deaton trying to score. Not a very good slide. Wow. What a break there. Deaton thrown out. That'll go 2-1. And when we come back, Lawrence will be at the plate to start the 4th. We have played 2.5. We're still scoreless here at the State B Amateur Baseball Tournament on PrepSpotlight.tv. On to the bottom of the third here at the Joe. Second weekend of the State B. And we're so glad you could join us here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Red Birds, designated hitter number 3, Derek Smith.
Well, here's Derek Smith. Derek Smith 0 for 4 in that opener against St. Michael. Wrapped up on Sunday night. During the year, 371, 6 RBI. And Smith actually the DH. And Nick Smith is in center field. There's a strike, 1-1 to Nick Smith, the DH tonight. Two and one now the count. Just missing up high. 3-1 now to Smith. And there's a leadoff walk. So Ludwig gives up a walk. Ludwig 2 walks in the opening game of the state tournament. So 2 walks so far in the game. Nick Smith to lead off the game. Now Derek Smith to lead off the third. To bring up left fielder Aaron Paff. 1 for 2 in RBI. 2 walks in the tourney opener. 304 on the season. 3 home runs, 12 RBI. Left-handed batter looks at ball 1 outside. The wind has started to taper a little bit. Flag's still blowing pretty good out in right center field. He lays down a bunt. Pitcher off the mound. Ludwig shovels to first in time. So Paff moves the runner along. He's retired 1-3 on the sacrifice. And that'll move Derek Smith down to second base. That'll bring up Nick Smith, the center fielder. He walked. So Nick Smith back in the lineup. Did not play in the tournament opener. And a good hitter, 354, and he has power. 5 home runs during the season. And the Redbirds in a tight one, scoreless, bottom of the third. Light starting to take over here at the Joe. Big swing and a miss. Good pitch by Ludwig. Fastball away. And Smith couldn't catch up with it. Cloud cover to the east, that's a good sign. Leaving work in Eden Prairie, heading out here to Shakopee. There is a little pop-up rain shower, but we don't expect anything here tonight. There's one fouled to the screen. Now 0-2. So Nick Smith in a hole with a runner on second and 1 away. Brandon Arnold, the shortstop, and the manager of this Redbird club, waiting on deck. And it is amazing what these guys do. They play, they run the teams, the head coach. They have full-time jobs. Many of these geysers went off into the parking lot. I've said it before here during state tournament coverage. First weekend of the class, say over in St. Anthony, you got to park a fair amount of ways so no vehicles in danger. But here at the Joe, you park a little too close, you could get some damage. I'm not worried. A dent or a ding would improve my truck. Here's the 0-2 on the way. To Nick Smith. Way up high, 1-2. With that said, I did get a new windshield. I picked up a rock somewhere along the way, and it turned into a gigantic crack on a hot, humid day. So I am facing the brand new windshield away from the ballpark, so at least that can't get dinged. You don't want to trash a new windshield. 1-2, swing and a miss. And Nick Smith goes down. 2 away, runner at second. That'll bring up Brandon Arnold. There's a third strikeout for John Ludwig, the Northfield Knights starter.
Now at plate for Chanhassen, shortstop, Brandon Arnold.
Arnold, long fly ball to left center field. Took center fielder Scott Benjamin onto the track. And that was one of those that got up into the jet stream. And the way the wind is blowing almost straight out here at the Joe. Those are the kind of fly balls that are going to carry out of here tonight. There's a good live fastball, but up in the zone, ball 1. I mentioned at the top, 330 down the line, 355 to the power alleys. You can see that in the top left portion of your screen, and then 375 just to the right of center field. There's a curveball and a strike. 1-1. Haven't seen a lot of that out of Ludwig tonight, but he turned one over and got it into the zone. Runner at second. 1-1 the count, 2 away. Bottom of the third, we're scoreless. Big swing and a miss. Good pitch. The winner plays Sunday at 1 against the winner at Champlain Park in Meesville. Here at the Joe. So pitching depth starts to become a bigger factor here on weekend number 2 of the B. Ludwig, a long look at the runner. He'll deliver. The 1-2 way up high. And now 2-2. That one was so high, I don't think he was trying to get Arnold to go up the ladder on him. That was the intent, but it did get away a little bit. Deaton at third, Mellon at short. Matheson at second, Severson over at first. Here's a pitch, hit on the ground toward Mellon. Mellon bobbles for a moment, everybody's safe. It wasn't a real hard hit ball, but he bobbled, and that was more than enough for Arnold to reach. We'll see what the official word is. Will that be hit number 2 for the Redbirds or the first error for the Knights? Does not come up on the score. Bottom line is 2 away, runners at the corners, and the batter is going to be Michael Gergella. And it is an error on the Knights. E6. Gergella hit into that 6-3 double play. Mellon stepped on the bag, threw it to first to Severson to get Northfield out of that first inning. Runner goes. Pitch in the dirt. Throw down to second. Not in time. Back to the plate. Runner scores all the way to the backstop. And that runner from second heads for third. He's coming all the way around to score. Throw to the plate. He's out of there. Well, a wild play. Arnold steals second, and on the play, Smith scores from third, and then Arnold tries to come all the way around to score, and he's out 2-1. Well. After 3, Chanhassen has grabbed a 1-0 lead here on PrepSpotlight.tv. So the delayed double steal pays dividends. Arnold goes, reaches second, and the throwback to the plate, not in time as Derek Smith scores number 1 for the Red Birds. Then Arnold flying around because the throw got by the catcher all the way to the backstop. Sam Moss runs it down, throws it to the pitcher covering John Ludwig, and tags out Arnold out of the inning. One run, no hits, one error, nobody left for the Red Birds in the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Northfield trailing 1-0. Northfield, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors. And I should have had that error. That was that throwing error to the plate that allowed the run to score. So 2 errors. Meanwhile, for the Red Birds, 1 run, 1 hit. And now it's Tim Moss. Moss was at the plate when Troy Deaton was gunned down. Catcher to pitcher to end the bottom of the third. So we've had 2 plays at the plate to end innings. So some excitement for the spectators here tonight at the Joe. Quickly strike 1 and strike 2. John Straka, the Redbird starter. A bit of an adventure in the third inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Stranded 2. And that wild play at the plate to end the inning. There's one just outside. Now 1 and 2. Straka did fight his control in that inning, but got out of it without any damage. Here's one hit in the air, but foul out of play. And the count will ride along at 1 and 2. Minnesota's Baseball Association proud to present the 2020 state tournaments. Follow along on their website at mnbaseball.org or join them on Twitter at MinBaseball, M-I-N-N Baseball. Count rides along at 1 and 2. Leadoff batter Tim Moss, the left fielder. Here's one hit in the air to center field, driving Nick Smith back to the fence. That's high off the batter's eye in center field, heading for second. And in with a sliding double is Tim Moss. Moss off the batter's eye in dead center field. Has a leadoff double for Northfield here in the fourth. He cranked that one. And now it'll bring up Jason Matheson playing at second base. He is 0 for 1, a fly ball to left. Moss, a hit in the second, a stolen base. Now a double here in the fourth, 1 for 2. His third hit of the state tournament. And now John Straka has a runner in scoring position and wants his catcher Ben Lavorsi to change up the signals. And now they're on the same page and we're ready to go. There's one outside. Lavorsi had to stab it. 1-0 the count. Northfield down by a run here in the top of the fourth. And Tim Moss put a charge into that one. Halfway up the batter's eye out there. Up 2-0 to Matheson. Straka from the stretch. Curveball strike. Swing and a miss. 2-1, good pitch. Redfield advanced, beating East Grand Forks 9-5 in their opener. Ryan Torbenson waiting on deck. Ball 3-1. Matheson from Edina playing for Northfield. And there's a curveball missing inside, so a walk. Third walk of the game given up by Straka. And now runners at first and second and nobody out. And that'll bring up Torberson. Torbenson from Northfield. Fly ball to center field in inning number 2. He's 0 for 1. So Straka in a little hot water. Had a meeting with his catcher, Ben Lavorsi. Try and figure out a new strategy here. There's one fouled out of play. Oh, 1, right back to the screen, 0-2. Now we got time called. John Straka kind of wants to change things up. Big spot in the ball game. His team leading 1-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Northfield 3 hits, but so far nothing to show for it. That one's fouled out of play. Count rides along at 0-2. Coming up tomorrow, beginning at 1, Champlin Park in Meesville. At 4, Elko and Cold Spring. And in the nightcap, Dundas against the Moorhead Brewers. 3 games tomorrow here at the Joe, beginning at 1 o'clock. And there's strike 3. Good curveball by Straka. That's strikeout number 6. And that's a big one. And now runners at first and second, one away. It'll bring up catcher Sam Moss. Moss struck out to end the second. He was 0 for 5 in the turning opener. He has an opportunity here to tie the ball game. Meanwhile, Straka thinking double play ball with the catcher at the plate. Half and left. Nick Smith in center. Jackson Goblin in right for the Redbirds. First pitch. Curveball, strike 1. Well, Straka's gone to the curveball here and had some success, and he's ahead here, 0-1. Gergella at third, Arnold at short, Klepner at second, Hoffman at first. Lavorsi the catcher, Straka on the mound. Look at the runners, and the pitch is swing and a miss. Now he's ahead here, 0-2. Troy Eden waiting on deck. He had a single to lead off the third. Oh, 2 pitch. Another curveball hit on the ground to third. Fair ball. Step on third. No. Ruled it foul. It hit fair, but I think he fielded the ball in foul territory. So it's just a strike. Could have been an easy get the lead runner and potentially the double play, but yeah, that one was just foul. The home plate umpire came out. Looked like it might stay fair, but it did not. 0-2, 1 away. Runners at first and second for Northfield here as they try and tie it up. Chanhassen got a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's one hit in the air to center field. Coming on, Nick Smith has a line drive catch. They'll relay it into the infield, and everybody stays put. Moss hit it hard, but right at him. And now 2 away runners at first and second. Going to bring up Troy Eden. Had that single. And then was retired at the plate trying to score to end the 3rd inning. Lavorsi fed Straka, and it was an unusual a slide by Deedon. Deaton from Bloomington, playing for Northfield. And there's a pitch on the outside corner. Good fastball. 0-1. The leadoff double by Moss, then the walk. Now a strikeout, a line out. And John Straka trying to get out of trouble for the Redbirds here in the top of the fourth. Curveball, that's chop foul. Gergella came over and grabbed it, but well foul, and throws it to his pitcher and handcuffed him. Now it's 0-2. Runners at first and second. 0-2 the count, 2 away. Top of the fourth. And now we got a timeout. Straka taking way too long. And the home plate umpire hops out of there and says, let's do it over again. And now everybody ready. Foul to the screen, got a piece of it. Was on it, but the count rides along at 0-2. We mentioned State A tournament in the books at St. Anthony in Palm Field. Minnetonka Millers take down the Minneapolis Cobras to win the Class A title. The Millers, a perennial power, get it done. Cobras won it a year ago. Now the 0-2 pitch on the way. Curveball right back up the middle into center field. Moss around third, headed for the plate. Throw comes through. Not in time. 1-1 ball game. On an RBI single by Troy Eden. And now runners at first and second. And that'll bring up Sam Stockmeyer, the DH. Struck out in the third. He's 0 for 1. So a double, a walk, and now a 2-out RBI single for Deaton, and we're tied at 1. Here in the top of the fourth. There's a big swing and a miss. Coming up between innings, some highlights from Class C action. There's another swing and a miss. Stockmeyer in an 0-2 hole. Runner at second is Matheson. Runner at first, Deaton with the RBI single. And there are 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Stockmeyer's pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Second strikeout of the inning. 7th of the game, but Northfield ties it up. And after 3.5, we're knotted at 1. Here at the State Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament at the Joe here on PrepSpotlight.tv. And speaking of the state tournament, here's some highlights from the Class C that you can also see here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. They throw to the plate. It's not in time. 4 and a walk. Runner going. Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game.
Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right. And that is going to be over his head. Delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called third strike. He had 2 called third strikes in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Prior League Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep. Looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose
Then we go to the bottom of the fourth for the Red Birds in a 1-1 ball game. 3, 4, and 5, Michael Gergella, Zach Hoffman, and Ben Lavorsi up to face John Ludwig. Ludwig a run on a hit. He's had 2 errors behind him. He's stranded 1. He struck out the side in the second. Has 4 total strikeouts in the game, and he's walked 2. Here's one towards short. Mellon up with it. Go to first in time, 1 away. Gergella retired. 6-3. He's now 0 for 2, and that'll bring up Zach Hoffman playing at first for the Red Birds. He struck out to start inning number 2. Pretty good breeze blowing. The breeze is certainly freshened, and it is blowing to straight out center field. So you get one in the air, and it's got a chance to go. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 to Hoffman. Not quite as windy as the winds that came up a week ago when they finally suspended the game. Another swing and a miss and a curveball, 0-2 to Hoffman. Ludwig doing a good job for the Knights. The Redbirds got their run in the third, got a leadoff walk, came around to score. It was an unusual inning, to say the very least. 2 errors in the inning, really a big part in the run. Goes without saying, an unearned run on Ludwig. And now he misses outside, 1-2. Tried to get Hoffman to chase, he wouldn't bite. And you can start to feel the humidity drop. And another humid stretch. There's one upstairs now, 2-2, just missing. Some of the grandstand umpires thought otherwise, but what they think doesn't matter. 2-2, 1 away, nobody aboard, bottom of the fourth. There's one outside now, the count is full. Job by Hoffman. 0 for 2, a walk, an RBI in that first round win over St. Michael for the Redbirds. They're on a tear. They've won 19 in a row. 20-1 this year. Here's one slapped up the middle. Mellon grabs, throws. Good play. Wow. Hoffman 0 for 2 now. And that'll bring up Ben Lavorsi, the catcher. He struck out in inning number 2. That was a fine play by Thomas Mellon. He's got a chance to tie a record, 263 putouts. And I didn't play very well, I didn't play very long. But I can remember once upon a time playing down at first base. I had 2 unassisted putout. And all I could think about is, do I have a chance for a third putout? 3 unassisted. Didn't happen. But I thought about it I was distracted thinking about it during the next at-bat. 1-1, 2 away, nobody aboard. There's a pitch outside. I think in the course of a ball game, a player will think about certain things like that. But I have a chance to tie a record held by many. Ludwig trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. And there's a strike now, 2-2. He faced the minimum in the first, but Nick Smith led off the game with a walk. So the Redbirds have had base runners in every inning except here in the fourth. Nobody aboard, 2 away. In a tie ball game. John Ludwig's been really good. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Another 3-ball count, second in a row. Hoffman worked it full and then grounded out. And now here comes Ludwig with the 3-2. Outside, and Lavorsi works out a walk. That is the third of the game for the Redbirds. And that'll bring up Aaron Klepner, who's on fire. 5 for 5 in the state tournament, including a single and a stolen base here in inning number 2. They won a 2-out single in the second, and then Goplin struck out to end the inning. Klepner's been really good here in the state tournament for the Chanhassen Red Birds. I think we actually had some folks head for the car to grab a coat. I'm not going to go there tonight. The 0-1. 1-1 to Klepner. Batting in the 6th spot. Goblin waiting on deck if we get that far. Goblin playing in right field tonight. The original lineup I saw had him in center again, but he moves to right. With Nick Smith back in the lineup, playing in center field. Now 2-1 to Klepner. Lavorsi the 2-out walk. Klepner trying to stay perfect here in the state tournament. This one hit high and foul out of play. And now 2-2. What I love about state tournament venues like this, you got concession stands, you've got smaller grandstands spread around the property on the outside of the dugout. Just a great setting. A lot of great spots to watch the action. Runner goes, throw down to second in plenty of time. Good throw. As Moss throws out the base runner, Lavorsi. That'll mean Klepner will start the 5th inning. So the Redbirds get one on, don't strand anybody. Nobody left. And after 4 complete, we're tied at 1 here in PrepSpotlight.tv.
Folks, I'm looking at this breakfast menu for Chocolate Bowl.
We move on to the top of the 5th inning, tied at 1. For Northfield, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 big errors. For Chanhassen, a run on 1 hit. They've taken advantage of those Knights' errors, and that's why we are tied at 1 going to the top of the 5th inning. John Straka begins his 5th inning of work. Northfield so far in the game, a hit in the 2nd, a hit in the 3rd, 2 hits in the 4th. An RBI single for Troy Deaton tied the ball game. Tim Maughan slid off with a double, and they brought him around. And now we've got 1, 2, and 3. Scott Benjamin, Thomas Mellon, and Alden Severson for the Northfield Knights. Again, Straka. And there's strike one. Finds the outside corner. Benjamin has struck out twice in the ball game. Did not play in the opener against East Grand Forks. A 9-5 win for the Northfield Knights. Wearing black tops. Red Birds in red. This one hit in the air to shallow center field, coming on Nick Smith. Has it measured. And quickly one away. Thomas Mellon playing at shortstop tonight. Fly ball out in the first, and then a walk in the third. He's 0 for 1. Up high, ball one. Waiting on deck, Alden Severson playing at first. He has a walk and a strikeout on his resume tonight. It's a big swing and a miss. There's a chopper right back to the pitcher. Straka grabs it. Underhand toss to first in time. He's retired 1-3, and with 2 away and nobody aboard, that'll bring up Severson. As we mentioned, strikeout in the first, walk in the third. Straka had a 1-2-3 inning in the first. Gave up a leadoff single, came back to get him 3 in a row in the second. Well, he's trying to notch his second 1-2-3 inning. He hasn't thrown a lot of pitches here in the inning. There's a big swing and a miss. Straka ran into a little trouble. Back-to-back walks in the third. Gave up a walk in the fourth. Plus 2 hits. And has come back with a very good 5th inning. This one fouled to the screen. He's quickly ahead 0-2. And this is just exactly what John Straka had in mind when he came out. Get ahead in the count. Get 2 quick outs, and now a pitch away from getting out of it. Just missing outside, low and away, 1-2. Now the count. Three games tomorrow, beginning at 1, Champlin Park and Meesville. This one fouled out of play. Count rides along at 1-2. 4 o'clock game, Elko and Cold Spring. Elko, the walk-off win over the Moorhead Mudcats. Bloop single to right sealed the deal. And then Dundas and the Moorhead Brewers tomorrow night. The nightcap. Big swing and a miss. Strikes him out. 8th of the game. And the Knights go down 1-2-3 in the 5th. After 4.5, we're tied at 1 here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Last summer's Emmy-nominated documentary Town Ball, Uniquely Minnesota, now available on Amazon Prime. Watch all 8 episodes and learn about the more than 100-year history of amateur baseball in Minnesota. Here we are at Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee. A great night for a ball game. The wind blowing out and the pitchers still dominating. John Ludwig begins his 5th inning of work here in the bottom of the 5th for the Northfield Knights. And Aaron Klepner was at the plate when Ben Lavorius, was caught stealing. So we'll get Klepner, Goplin, and Derek Smith for the number 1 ranked team in Class B and the 2-time defending state champs out of the River Valley League. Their only loss to Egan coming on June 21st, 5-3. Since then, they've won 19 games in a row. In the Section 3B, they beat their arch rivals from Chaska twice. Now, the Cubs still made the state tournament, but the Cubs were eliminated by Dundas 10-1 last Saturday. Ball one to the leadoff hitter, Klepner. And now strike one. Klepner hitting a stolen base in the second. He was at the plate an inning ago, and he was 4 for 4 in the opener. 3 doubles, 3 RBI, 2 runs scored. Klepner, a monster state tournament already. There's one outside, 2-1. Playing out at second base for the Red Birds. Klepner from Dayton, Minnesota. I live up in that neck of the woods. There's one outside now, 2-2. Yeah, from Dayton down to Chanhassen, that's a journey. 3-1 now. Klepner trying to find his way on. Here to lead off the 5th. There's one smash toward Severson at first to the pitcher covering. Got him! 3-1. Good play as Klepner dove in there, but he is out. Nice play by Severson to his right. And the pitcher covering Ludwig gets him by a hair. And now it's right fielder Jackson Goblin. He struck out to end the second. Goblin 2 for 3, scored 3 runs in the tournament opener. 441 on the year. Good hitter, good outfielder. Played in center field in that game against St. Michael and moves to right here tonight with Nick Smith back in the Redbirds lineup. There's one inside, and it nicked him. First hit batter of the night, so Goblin a 1-out. He was able to jackknife out of most of that, but he still got nicked. And now Goblin down at first with 1 away, and that'll bring up DH Derek Smith. Smith walked and scored the only run for the Redbirds in the 3rd inning. Redbirds just 1 hit. And that hit was, for Klepner in the second. Runner goes, throw well wide into center fielder. Runner pops up, that's Goblin. He's going to head into 3rd. So a stolen base and a wild throw by the catcher. That'll be the 3rd error on Northfield. Stolen base, and then he'll advance on the E2. 3rd error. And they have really been costly for John Ludwig in Northfield. Chanhassen's lone run unearned with 2 errors in the 3rd inning. Ludwig's been really good tonight. And now that runner over at 3rd base is Goblin. Smith still the batter. Derek Smith, the DH. Infield in. There's a curveball missing. Outfield of Tim Moss, Scott Benjamin, and Ryan Torbenson straight away. But the infield of Deedon, Mellon, Matheson, and Severson over at first, all in, trying to cut off the lead run. 1-1. Low and away now, 2-1 to Smith. We'll see what the play is here. Smith in the turning opener 0 for 4. 371 on the year. Has a chance to pick up his 7th RBI in 2020. 2-1, hit on the ground by the drawn-in infield into right field for a hit. That is an RBI single for Derek Smith, and the Chanhassen Red Birds lead at 2-1. Yeah, Severson just drawn in, couldn't stretch out and get it. Second hit of the game, second run of the game for the Redbirds. Gonna bring up left fielder Aaron Paff. A sacrifice at inning number 3. Moved Derek Smith along. There's one fouled out of play off to the left, 0-1. So the hit batter, the stolen base, the throwing error on the catcher gets Goplin to third, and then Derek Smith puts one on the ground and gets it by the drawn-in infield to make it 2-1 Red Birds. Ludwig throws over to first, and that is not in time. Very, very close over there. Good move by Ludwig. Both runs unearned. The 3 errors behind him. And give the Redbirds credit, they have made the Knights pay for those errors. A 1 pitch. Make it 0-2. Two games on Sunday here at 1 and 4 at the Joe in Shakopee. Attendance limited to 250 fans per game. Well, there's a chance you can get into the ballpark for one of the games, but once again, admission gets you in for one game, and then due to COVID-19, they clear the ballpark, and they wipe things down, and then they let the next group in. Here to the Joe. 0-2 runner at first, 1 away. A run in for the Redbirds. John Ludwig battling. That one a foul tip, and the count will ride along. Big thanks to our sponsors. Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is a hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone and Wings Financial. We're for people like you. And of course, big thanks to the Minnesota Baseball Association and their partnership here in the 2020 Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament. We had all the Class A action. Class B, Class C continues. Runner goes. That one slapped foul into the parking lot. Look out. Count rides along at 0-2 to Aaron Paff, the left fielder. Recapping the inning, Goplin got hit by a pitch with 1 out. Stole a base, moved to third on a throwing error, and then the RBI single for Derek Smith, and that's where we stand 2-1 Chanhassen. Here's one hit in the air to left field. Tim Moss coming on, makes the catch, 2 away. This moves in a few steps, put it away. The old can of corn. And now the batter is going to be at the top of the order, Nick Smith. Smith walked in the first, struck out in the third. 4 strikeouts for John Ludwig, and he hasn't had a strikeout since that third inning when he got Smith swinging. Runner goes, throw down to second, in time. 2-6 caught stealing. Great throw by Sam Moss, and we are out of the inning. We have played 5 complete. Chanhassen leading Northfield 2-1 here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
Folks, let's hear it for this ground crew. A lot of baseball players from Shakopee, all these volunteers, they do a nice job with this field. Thank you, thank you.
We go to the 6th inning tonight. Second weekend of the state Class B amateur baseball tournament underway here at Joe Schlepper Stadium. Steve Thompson with you. We've had a good ball game. Northfield coming to bat here in the 6th. 1 run, 4 hits, 3 costly errors. For Chanhassen, 2 runs on just 2 hits. They have not committed any errors. John Straka is the starter, and he has struck out 8 so far in the ball game. And it'll be 4, 5, and 6. Tim Moss, Jake Matheson, and Ryan Torbenson for the Knights. His catcher, Ben Lavorisi. Straka got him 1, 2, 3 in the first, 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. There's one way outside. Overthrew that one a little bit. Never one to complain about warm, humid weather. Here's one hit in the air to right center field. Coming on the right fielder, Goplin, and it falls in for a hit. Tough chance for Goplin. It was kind of in the devil's triangle. Center fielder, second base, right fielder. Goplin couldn't get to it. I think that one's going to go for a hit for sure. We'll see if it pops up on the board as an error, but that was a really tough chance. It is a hit, 5th of the game. So Moss now 3 for 3 in the game. His 4th hit of the state tournament. He had a single in the 2nd, a double and a run scored in the 4th, and now a single to lead off here. That'll bring up Jake Matheson. Popped out to left in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. So the Knights trying to battle back. They fell behind 1-0 after 3. Got one back in the top of the 4th. And now they fell behind 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Let's see what they do here in the top of the 6th. They're off to a good start with the leadoff single from Moss. There's a big swing and a miss, now 2-1. Matheson playing out at second base. Ryan Torbenson waiting on deck. We're sure to seeing him here in the inning. There's a big swing and a miss, now 2-2. As I was saying before, I'm not one to complain about the hot, humid weather because it is fleeting in these parts. And we've seen some coats come out here tonight. And I saw a long-range forecast before I got to the ballpark tonight, and it looks like early September could be cooler than normal. I'm not going to say cold, cooler than normal. Here's one hit in the air to right field. Another chance for Goplin. Comes on, makes the catch. Runner retreats. Moss had first, one away, and that'll bring up Ryan Torbenson. Torbenson fly ball to center field in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. 0 for 2 for the Northfield Knights. Trying to advance to play on Sunday against the winner of Champlain Park in Meesville. We'll play the early game tomorrow at 1 here on PrepSpotlight.tv and at the Joe. There's one hack to the screen straight back. 0-1. And what's great about the Joe is they've got this grandstand with seats from the Metrodome. And it is a large covered grandstand. And then they have a walkway between the seating area and the backstop. And that's kind of a cool view back there. And now it's 0-2 to Torbenson. And then they've got some drink rails and some rocking chairs, but over by the first base dugout. Just great areas all around this ballpark. There's one hit high and foul out of play. Count rides along at 0-2. Runner at first, Tim Moss had that bloop single to right that fell in between Klepner at second, Goplin in right field, and Nick Smith in center. No one could get to it. Found that little spot where nobody was able to get to it. Here's one hit in the air, high and foul, down toward that Northfield bullpen. For the state tournament, they've got a trailer where the players, the media, etc., need to check in. Take your temp, that sort of thing, sign in. The count is 0-2. John Straka in his 6th inning of work. And now we got time called by the home plate umpire again. I was here on Friday night, and then I came back last Saturday night to do ball games. And it was warm. I needed to bring a fan. We needed to have a fan up here to move the air around a little bit. There's one outside. Now we've got nature's fan. And the humidity continues to drop as we go through the evening. And throughout the day, the humidity was up. I was a bit surprised by that. It was still a warm, humid day here in the greater Twin Cities area. 1-2 pitch, way up high and inside. Now 2-2. So Torberson really battling here, trying to get something going for the Knights. But the wind has been pretty steady out of the west-northwest. 2-2, swing and a miss, struck him out. That was a good battle. 9th strikeout for Straka, now 2 away and a runner at first. To bring up Sam Moss, the catcher. Struck out in the 2nd, flew out to left in the 4th. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Knights 1 run, 5 hits, 3 errors. One of those hits coming here in the inning. And Chanhassen 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and they have taken advantage of all 3 errors. The 2 Redbirds runs are unearned. And now Straka checks the runner, curveball, and that one is fouled outside of the Northfield dugout, and it rolls into foul territory. Someone better get after that, and they do. I think they were pointing at each other in the Northfield dugout. You go get it. And somebody offered up to run out there, trot after that. It is 0-1 to Sam Moss. There's another swing and a miss. So Straka in his 6th inning of work. He's thrown a lot of pitches here tonight. And he's had success with that curveball at times. He's been able to keep the Knights off balance with that. Runner at first, 0-2, 2 outs. Up high. Now 1-2. Moss is able to reach. Troy Eden at third base will dig in. He's had a couple of hits and an RBI in the ball game for the Knights. They'd like to get it to him with ducks on the pond. Another curveball, strike 3, caught him looking. 2nd strikeout of the inning, 10th of the game for Straka. Northfield, no runs, no errors, 1 left. And after 5.5, Chanhassen leading Northfield 2-1 here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th, 2-time defending Class B champs. Chanhassen coming to bat, leading 2-1. It'll be Nick Smith, Brandon Arnold, and Michael Gergella. 1, 2, and 3 in their order against John Ludwig for the Northfield Knights. He's done a phenomenal job tonight. Held the Redbirds' potent lineup to 2 hits. The 3 errors behind him have been costly. The Redbirds runs coming in the 3rd and the 5th. So here's Smith. Didn't play in the tournament opener against St. Michael. Wasn't available Friday or Sunday, but is available tonight in the leadoff hole playing in center field. Had a walk in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. Here's one chopped over to first. Severson grabs it, goes to the bag. Quickly one away. Smith retired 3 unassisted. That'll bring up Brandon Arnold, the shortstop. Fly ball to deep center field in the first. Reached on an error in the third. Stole a base. And then retired 2-1 trying to score. The catcher, Sam Moss, to John Ludwig covering. And was out to end the third. Here's Arnold. The field manager. And looks at strike one. Ludwig's, I gotta say, been good tonight. General manager, Terry Kimball. Brandon Arnold sets that lineup. And now 1-1. Nobody on, one away. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Phil McLaughlin, our camera operator, doing a great job. There's one outside, 2-1. Phil, are you going to need a coat tonight? Yeah, I'm with you. Feels pretty good. You know, I like warm, humid days, but when it cools down, I'm resistant to put on a coat. I want to acclimate to the cold as quick as I can. 2-1 pitch. Now 3-1. So Arnold trying to find his way aboard for the Redbirds, waiting on deck. Michael Giurgiella. There's a curveball strike. 3-2. I don't know if Arnold agreed with it. Count is full. At the letters on the outside edge. Ludwig's pitch. Hit in the air to left. That'll fall for a hit. In front of Tim Moss. He'll retrieve it and throw it back into the infield. Third hit of the game for the Redbirds. And with one on and one away, that'll bring up Michael Giurgiella. He's 0 for 2. Grounded into a shortstop double play, 6-6-3 in the first, and then grounded out 6-3 in the fourth. Had a hit in the turning opener against St. Michael. Had a walk in that game. .328 during the regular season. Looks at ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Not in time. Arnold steals it. Second stolen base of the game. So Brandon Arnold swipes second. And now with one away and a runner at second, an RBI opportunity for Giurgiella. Arnold's second of the game, had 4 stolen bases during the regular season. So aggressive on the base pass tonight. Runs have been at a premium. Here's a curveball fouled back to the screen by John Ludwig. And he's had the Redbirds off balance. 1-2 now the count to Giurgiella. Zach Hoffman waiting on deck. Hoffman, the cleanup hitter for the Redbirds. Wind still pretty strong, blowing straight out to center field. This one slapped in the air down the right field line. This could be trouble, and it's down for a hit. It's grabbed by Torbenson around third, heading for the plate as Arnold, and it's 3-1 Redbirds. On an RBI double by Giurgiella. And that'll bring up Zach Hoffman to the plate.
Next up for Chanhassen, Zach Hoffman.
3-1 score. Single stolen base, RBI double for Giurgiella. Now that'll bring up Hoffman. Struck out in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth. 0 for 2. It actually now looks like it's blowing out toward right center. But that one just kept slicing away from Torbenson. He just could not get it. It didn't get all the way to the fence, but pretty close. Trying to keep Georgella close to second. Here's one hit in the air to center field. That's down for a hit. Around third, headed for home is Georgella. And it is now 4-1 Chanhassen. RBI single for Hoffman. Three hits in a row. Fifth hit of the game.
Next up, the catcher, Ben Lavorsi.
That'll bring up the catcher, Ben Lavorsi. Struck out in the second. Walked in the fourth, caught stealing to end the fourth. I don't see any activity down in the Northfield Knights bullpen. John Ludwig's going to continue here. Got the first out, a ground out to first. Then a single, a double, and a single is played at 2. That'll bring up Lavorsi. 0 for 3 in the tourney opener. 259 during the regular season for the Red Birds catcher. And there's ball one up high. Didn't miss by much. The umpire took a long look at it. Ludwig throw over to first. Diving back in is Hoffman. Coming into the inning, Ludwig had only given up 2 hits. Redbirds with 3 in a row now. They're in the bottom of the 6th, way outside. 2-0. Still no activity in that bullpen. We could see someone come in from the field to play to pitch, of course, for the Northfield Knights, if they decide to go that route. (2-0) on the way. Up high, 3-0. So Ludwig laboring for the first time in the game. Gave up that run in the 3rd, unearned. Gave up the run in the 5th, unearned. And now the 2 runs here certainly have been earned. 3-0 pitch on the way, and he gets that one across. Lavorsi taken all the way, as you'd expect. Waiting on deck, Aaron Klepner. 5 hits already in the state tournament. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Lavorsi's out. Strikeout number 5 for Ludwig. His first since the 3rd inning. Or excuse me, to make the count 3-2. No strikeout there. It's too soon. Hoffman, though, moves down on the swing and a miss. It got away from Moss. And now Lavorsi looking at a 3-2 pitch. He did not strike out. It was a 3-1. And now we got time called. The umpire tonight behind home plate has been very quick to call time if the pitcher's taking at all too much time. And now we got a balk. Balk called on Ludwig, and that'll move Hoffman down to 3rd base with 1 away. 2 runs in, 4-1 Redbirds here in the bottom of the 6th. And now a balk. First I've seen in calling the state tournament. Started at Class A, came over to Class B. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout. There's strikeout number 5. And now with 2 away and a runner at 3rd, that'll bring up Aaron Klepner. Klepner a single and a stolen base in the 2nd. And then a phenomenal play by Severson down at 1st to stab a ground ball headed for right field and shoveled to the pitcher, Ludwig covering. That was really a good play by Severson. to rob him of his second hit of the game and his sixth of the state tournament. Here's a chopper toward short. Mellon up with it. Throw. Got him. Good play. Putner retired 6-3. But the Redbirds get 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1, and after 6, they lead it 4-1 here on Prep Spotlight.tv.
Top of the 7th inning, Chanhassen now leads 4-1.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Now a 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Laconia tied the game at 1 in the top of the 8th inning, but Fairmont got another run. Now Fairmont Martin lead Laconia Lakers 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. And in Springfield, last update, Union Hill Bulldogs still lead the Lamberton Long Sox 1-0.
We move to the top of the 7th inning of this first game of weekend number 2 of the Class B Amateur Baseball Tournament here on PrepSpotlight.tv. And, of course, the 2020 State Tournament brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is a hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone and Wings Financial. We're for people like you. Northfield, Troy Eden, Sam Stuckmeyer, and Scott Benjamin 8-9-1 against John Straka. Beginning his 7th inning of work. First pitch fouled away, ball 1. Eden 2 hits and an RBI in 2 trips tonight, batting out of the 8th spot. Retired trying to score to end the 3rd inning. Lavorisi to Straka. Not a great slide by Deaton. He got caught. 10 strikeouts for Straka tonight. 2 coming an inning ago. There's one up high now, ball 1, 1-1. Waiting on deck, the DH Stockmeyer for the Northfield Knights, trying to battle back down 4-1. They have a run on 5 hits, 3 errors. Their run coming in inning number 4. There's a strike 2, 1-2. Straka went 6 in the state tournament opener against St. Michael. There's an overhand curveball missing away, 2-2. Game coming up on 2 hours old. We got started right at 7:30 tonight. We're at 9:27 right now, and we're in the 7th. We've been moving along pretty good here tonight. The breeze has been a factor. We haven't seen any home runs. This one slapped foul. Ball out of play off to the right. Have a screamer over the Chanhassen dugout on the first side. Red Birds and red tops, white pants. Northfield, black tops, gray pants for the ball game here tonight. There's a swing and a miss. 11 strikeout for Straka. One away, nobody aboard. That'll bring up Sam Stockmeyer, the DH. He's struck out twice tonight.
Next up, designated hitter for the Knights, Sam Stockmeyer.
Play continues tomorrow with 3 games. At 1, Champlain Park and Meesville, followed by Elko and Cold Spring at 4, and then Dundas and the Moorhead Brewers play the nightcap scheduled for 7 o'clock. Here at Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee. Here's a chopper toward third. Gergella grabs, throws on the run, got him. 2 away, nobody aboard. That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Scott Benjamin, for the Northfield Knights. He's 0 for 3. Struck out in the first and the third, and a fly ball to center in the 5th.
Played for the Northfield Knights, Scott Benjamin.
Strzok has been able to retire the Knights 1-2-3 twice tonight, inning number 1 and inning number 5. Here we are, top of the 7th. And he has settled down, strike 1. The rockiest inning came in the 3rd. A hit back-to-back walks. Got bailed out by that play at the plate. And gave up the run on a couple of hits and a walk in the 4th. But since then has really settled down. Gave up a leadoff single in the 6th. Here's one towards short. Gobbles up Arnold. Can he make a play? No. That'll be E6 on Brandon Arnold. He almost recovered to make the play. That'll be the first error on the Redbirds. And it comes here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Maybe trying to rush a little bit. With Benjamin flying down the line, this will bring up Thomas Mellon. Mellon fly ball to right in the 1st. A walk in the 3rd, and then grounded out to the pitcher, John Straka, in the 5th. Double-digit strikeouts for Straka tonight. This one slapped foul, and that catches the facing of the grandstand. A solid hit there. Of all the ball games I've done from the B, that was the most solid foul ball hit on the facing of the grandstand so far, for what that's worth. That was a dent. There's one inside corner at the knees, good pitch. Now Mellon in an 0-2 hole. Curveball, chop foul. Barely stays alive. That was a good pitch by Straka. Straka from Eden Prairie. Wearing number 17, has gone all the way. 6 2/3 so far as he pitches here to the Northfield Knights in the top of the 7th. 1 on 2 outs. And he goes. Check of the runner. Runner goes. Throw down to second on one hop into center field. But the runner will not advance. Stolen base for Benjamin. And the count now 1-2 to Mellon. Lavorsi, a one hop throw that skipped over the bag into center field, but a good job by Nick Smith to come on and quickly fire that back into the infield. Runner got a good jump on the play. Strike 3, 12th strikeout for Straka. That ends the threat. No runs, no hits. 1 error and 1 left. After 6.5, Chanhassen leading Northfield 4-1 here on Prep Spotlight.tv.
National anthem just calling out to us. Everybody up and stretch. yourself a hand, folks. That's good.
Stretch time here at the Joe. Chanhassen leading Northfield 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be 7, 8, and 9. Jackson Goplin, Derek Smith, and Aaron Paff. Against John Ludwig. And we got a new pitcher out there for the Knights.
Changes for Northfield. Now playing left field, Sam Stockmeyer, the designated hitter.
Stockmeyer moves to left for Northfield.
Now pitching, number 5 is Jake Matheson.
Jake Matheson
Here's
moves
the
in.
line on John Ludwig. 6 innings pitched, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs. Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, Jackson Goplin.
All right, so Ludwig out, Matheson in to pitch. He comes in from second. You don't have the defensive replacement at second base as of yet. But we got Goplin, the right fielder. Struck out in the second. Got hit by a pitch, stole a base, reached third on an error, and then scored a run in the 5th. So Goplin leads it off. Then Derek Smith and Aaron Paff. 7, 8, 9 for the Red Birds here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's one hit on the ground to third and by Deaton. And into right field, the leadoff hit for Goplin. That'll be the 6th for the Red Birds. Had 3 hits in a row in the 6th, plated 2 runs. Now they'll bring up Derek Smith. Smith walked and scored in the 3rd. Had an RBI single in the 5th. And then was caught stealing. So the Redbirds with a run in the 3rd. Throw down to second. Runner is safe. Stolen base there. Second stolen base of the game for Goplin. Now a runner at second and nobody out. 1-0 count to Smith. For the Redbirds, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. They're up 4-1. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. For them, 1 run, 5 hits, 3 errors. That one skips away from the catcher, Sam Moss. Runner moves to 3rd on the wild one. So Jake Matheson. We still don't have the defensive replacement out at second base unless Tim Moss moved in. Not sure about that. They didn't announce Sam Stockmeyer in left, Scott Benjamin in center, Ryan Torbenson in right. Matheson started the game at second. He is pitching right now. Here's one hit way up in the air into shallow right center field. Coming on, and it falls in for a hit. Run scores. Torbenson came all the way in from right field, couldn't get to it. It drops in, and Goplin trots home to make it 5-1. Oh, a tough chance. Center fielder didn't get a good break on it. The shortstop made a break on it. He couldn't get to it. And then the right fielder flying in, he couldn't handle it. They're going to rule that a hit. And the second RBI of the game for Smith. And now it's Aaron Paff. Sacrifice in the 3rd to move Smith along. He eventually scored. And a fly ball to left. He tries to lay down a bunt off the plate. Foul. 0-1. So already 2 hits, a stolen base, a wild pitch. And it's 5-1 Redbirds here in the bottom of the 7th inning as they start to pull away. It was a tight pitcher's duel. John Ludwig did a good job. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. But the first two were unearned. Second two were earned. That's how I'd score it anyway. We'll ultimately see what ends up in the official box score. But the first two were, you had 3 errors behind him, and the runner goes. This one hit right back up the box, right onto the bag, and everybody's safe. The shortstop, Mellon, couldn't come up with it and step on the bag. So everybody's safe. So Paff reaches. Smith down to second. We go to the top of the order and Nick Smith. Still nobody out.
Pitching for Chanhassen. Number 15 is Ryan Deers.
Deers is going to pinch hit. Deers did start that St. Michael game to open the state tournament, so Deers pinch hitting here. There's one down in the zone, ball 1. Northfield has to feel they're in trouble. Nobody out, runners at first and second. Pinch hitter Deers. Ball 2. Two and 0 to Deers. Deers was 0 for 3. It was a big swing and a miss, 2 and 1. He's trying to hit that out to 169. Out over the right field fence here. 2 and 1 now the count. Nobody out, runners at first and second. 1 run already in. We had 3 hits in a row for the second inning in a row, all singles here. Their hit total balloons to 8. After just having 2 runs on 2 hits through 5. They brought their hitting shoes in the 6th and 7th against Northfield pitching. Big swing and a miss now, 3 and 2. 2 to Deers. Brandon Arnold waiting on deck. This one hit hard but well foul. So Deers a pinch hitter here, trying to find his way aboard for Brandon Arnold. And he swings and misses and strikes out. First strikeout victim, Matheson. Runner still at first and second, now 1 away, and that'll bring up Arnold.
Brandon Arnold.
Arnold, fly ball to deep center field in the first. Reached on an error in the third. Thrown out at the plate trying to score. Had a single, a stolen base, and a run score in the 6th, and here we go. For the field manager, for the 2-time defending state champs. Curveball outside, ball 1. Winner to play Champlain Park or Measville Sunday at 1. Champlain Park and Measville play tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then at 4, Elko and Cold Spring. And then in the nightcap here at the Joe, Dundas and the Moorhead Brewers at about 7 o'clock. There's a strike, 1 and 1. Brandon Arnold. Arnold from Chaska, but running the show for the Chanhassen Red Birds. There's one outside now, 2 and 1. Michael Gergella waiting on deck. And an RBI double in the 6th. And a run scored. Here's one fouled straight back and out of play. 2-2 now the count. Game Sunday here on PrepSpotlight.tv. 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And then the State B continues on Friday, September 4th with a 7:30 game. And then Saturday, September 5th with games at 1 and 4. And then Sunday, September 6th at 1 o'clock would be a championship game. If necessary, they would play a 4 o'clock game. So the state tournament through Sunday, September 6th here at the Joe and Shakopee. Called strike 3. Well, Arnold thought he had a walk. Said he strikes out. Second strikeout in the inning for Matheson. Runner still stranded at first and second with 2 away, and that'll bring up Michael Jurgella. Jurgella 1 for 3, that RBI double in the 6th inning. That is the 7th strikeout for Northfield pitching here tonight. Jurgella playing at third base. Has a hit so far in each game of the state tournament. The St. Michael opener that started on Friday ended on Sunday. I started the game on Friday night. Then Eric Bramer took over and finished it on Sunday night. Eric was here for games on Sunday at the Joe, and he was good enough to stick around and finish that game that started at 8. I think they were done in about an hour on Sunday night. Didn't take them long to wrap that one up. Chan winning that one 7-5. 1-1 the count, 2 on, 2 away. Bottom of the 7th, been a long inning. Jake Matheson struggled. And now 2-1 to Jurgella. The breeze has been pretty consistent tonight, blowing almost straight out to center field. No one's taking it out of the yard, in spite of a good breeze helping. There's a fastball outside, 2-2 now. If Jurgella's been able to find his way aboard, that'll bring up Zach Hoffman, who has an RBI single and 3 trips tonight for the Red Birds. And there's the actually the 3-1, and it's a walk. And now they're loaded for Hoffman. Derek Smith moves down to third. Paff at second. Jurgella at first. Hoffman struck out in the second, grounded out to short in the 4th. And then that RBI single came in the 5th. 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Red Birds. For the Knights, 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors. They're loaded. And there's strike 1 to Hoffman. 8th man to bat in the inning. 7th man, excuse me. Goblin let it off. Here, 20-1, 19 in a row. There's one outside. Now, there was some question, would they be able to get that or get this amateur baseball season in? And the team started playing, and here we are. Class A in the books. Minnetonka Millers, the champs. Runner-up, Minneapolis Cobras. Class B, Class C continue. There's a foul off the catcher. Back to the screen now, 1-2. I think a lot of people, the players, the fans, grateful that we've been able to get a season in this summer. It certainly has been difficult. But the state tournament venues have done a nice job managing, making sure everyone's safe. 1-2. fouled out of play. Count rides along at 1-2. Long inning for Jake Matheson. Northfield Knights in relief of John Ludwig, who goes 6 innings. Redbirds by 4 now. They have a chance to blow it open right here with 2 outs. The base is loaded. This one fouled to the screen again. Good battle brewing here. Matheson taking a long time between pitches. 1-2 on the way. Outside now 2-2. He knows a mistake, and this one will be out of hand. Hoffman 2 home runs this year for the Redbirds. That's one downstairs, 3-2. Well, nowhere to put him. Derek Smith at third. Aaron Paff at second. Michael Giurgella at first. And now a 3-2 pitch coming up. 2 outs. Everybody will be on the move as soon as Matheson delivers to the plate. And there they go. Here's one chopped off the plate towards short. Mellon up with it. Throw to first. In time. Got him 6-3. Good play. But Chanhassen adds a run. And after 7 complete, they lead at 5-1 here on Prep Spotlight.tv. All right, we got a new pitcher in the game. Miles Nablo. Nablo on to pitch for John Straka. Here's the numbers on Straka. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks. Quite a game for Straka. And now batting Alden Severson playing at first base. 2 strikeouts and a walk. 3 plate appearances. 0 for 2 tonight for Severson. And the Knights have some work to do here in the top of the 8th, trailing 5-1. Their lone run coming in the 4th, a run on 2 hits. They stranded 2. Miles Nablo, a right-hander, pitching now for the Redbirds. Nablo 14 2/3, 14 strikeouts, 2 walks. Hasn't given up a run this year. I can't remember. And there's a strikeout. Nablo did appear in that game against St. Michael. Severson strikes out. 13 strikeout.
Next up, the batter is Tim Moss.
First there for Nablo. Nablo, 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. One of them earned. Did strike out one in that appearance against St. Michael. The batter now with 1 out, nobody aboard in the top of the 8th, Tim Moss. Playing in left field for the Northfield Knights. There's one down in the dirt, blocked by Lavorsi. That caught him. 0-1. Yeah, what a night for Straka. 12 strikeouts in 7 innings of work gives way to Nablo. Now gets a strikeout of his own. Now 2-1 to Moss. Here's one chopped toward third. Giorgella charges and can't handle it. So Tim Moss reaches. He had a single in the second, a double and a run scored in the fourth, and a single in the sixth. So he's been on board all 4 times. 2 singles, a double, and now reaching on an errand. With 1 away, the batter will be Jake Matheson playing at second base. A fly to left in the second, a walk in the fourth, and a fly ball to right in the sixth. Fastball inside, ball 1. There's ball 2, 2-0. Winner advances to Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's the winner against Champlain Park and Measville. The Low Gators and the Mud Hens. Tomorrow, first to 3. Elko and Cold Spring scheduled at 4. Dundas, the Moorhead Brewers at 7 o'clock. You can see them all here on PrepSpotlight.tv. And, of course, Class C games available as well. 3-1 now. Runner at first is Moss. This one fall out of play now, 3-2. The wind has died down a little bit, but it's still blowing out to center field. There's a big swing and a miss and another strikeout. Second of the inning for Nablo. 14th strikeout of the game for Northfield hitters. That'll bring up Ryan Torbenson. Torbenson struck out twice in 3 trips. Way back in the second, a fly ball to center field. Gathered in by Nick Smith. First pitch hit on the ground to second. Klepner up with it. On to first in time. The Northfield gets one aboard on an error. They leave one, and after 7.5, they trail it 5-1. Here on PrepSpotlight.tv.
eighth inning for Chanhassen. That is the catcher, Ben Lavorsi.
All right, here we go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Chanhassen leading at 5-1, and they will send catcher Ben Lavorsi to the plate. Then Aaron Klepner and Jackson Goplin. Jake Matheson pitching. Severson moves from first to second. Moss from left to first, and Sam Stockmeyer is in left. So we've got those Northfield defensive changes sorted out. Ball one to Lavorsi. Struck out in the second. Walked in the fourth. Got caught stealing. And struck out in the sixth. There's one outside now, 2-0. The Redbirds catcher. Matheson gave up a run on 3 hits, but stranded 3 to keep this game within reach. His team down 4-1. He's got to get him into the dugout here for the ninth. Only down by 4. 3-0 now the count to Lavorsi as he tries to get aboard here to get the Redbirds started here in the 8th. And it'll be Klepner and then Goplin. There's a strike. Taken all the way. Strike 2. Full count now. Leadoff hitter Ben Lavorsi. 0 for 3 in the opener against St. Michael. .259 during the season. But does a really good job behind the plate for the Redbirds. You have a good catcher. Hitting's a bonus. Here's one in the air to right field. Coming on. Torbenson makes a catch. One away. Good running catch by Torbenson into the gap in right center. Well, that'll bring up Aaron Klepner. Klepner had a hit in the second.
There is Aaron Klepner.
Then grounded out to the first baseman in the 5th. Great play at the time by Severson. And then grounded out to short in the 6th. 1 for 3 tonight for Klepner playing at second base. Looks at strike 1. And a vocal home plate umpire. I like that. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Goplin, the right fielder, waiting on deck. He scored twice. Has a single in the game. And now 1-2. This one to hit in the air to right field. Coming on, Torbenson has it measured. 2 away, nobody aboard. That'll bring up Goplin.
Next up for the Redbirds, right fielder Jackson Goplin.
Mentioned Goplin earlier from Norton St. Paul. That's a hike out to Chanhassen. Most of the players from the Chaska, Chanhassen, Eden Prairie area. Now 0-2 to Goplin. Goplin struck out in the second, got hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 5th. Then has single and scored a run in the 7th. He's been on the bases 2 times tonight, been all the way around to home. And now 1-2, the count to him. And that is a strikeout. The 3rd strikeout for Matheson. So the Redbirds go 1-2-3 for the first time in the ball game. And we have played 8 complete. Chanhassen leading Northfield 5-1 here on PrepSpotlight.tv. On to the ninth we go. Northfield down to their last 3 outs. They need 4 to tie. For the Redbirds, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. For the Knights, 1 run, 5 hits, and 3 errors. Their lone run coming in the 4th. Leadoff double by Tim Moss comes all the way around to score, thanks to an RBI single by Troy Deaton. We have Sam Moss, Troy Deaton, and Sam Stockmeyer. 7, 8, 9 for Northfield. Just trying to get guys aboard here against Miles Nablo. Nablo comes in relief of John Straka. Straka 12 strikeouts, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, walked a couple. And 2 quick strikes to Sam Moss, the catcher for the Northfield Knights. Trying to find a way aboard and build a threat. There's one in the dirt, skips through the legs of Ben Lavorsi. And now it's 1-2. A reminder tomorrow here on Prep Spotlight from the Class B, Champlin Park in Meesville gets started at 1 o'clock, following at 4 Cold Spring and Elko. And then Dundas battles the Moorhead Brewers at 7. 2-2 now the count. Play continues on Sunday with matinees at 1 and 4. The winners from the play tonight and tomorrow will meet on Sunday. Here at Joe Schlepper Stadium, and a big thanks to our hosts. They've just done a great job first weekend and now here the second weekend. And a good job by Moss to work a leadoff walk to build a little hope for the Knights here in the top of the 9th inning. Trailing 5-1, they need base runners. Troy Deaton playing down at third base. Deaton a single in the 3rd, a single in the 4th, struck out in the 7th. The 11th strikeout victim for Straka. And here's a single to right. It's in for a hit. Runner has to hustle down to second base. And just like that, Northfield has 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 9th. A walk and a single, and that'll bring up Sam Stockmeyer, the DH. Stockmeyer started as the DH, moved to left field, and now Nablo in a little hot water. Or Nablo, excuse me.
The batter is left fielder Sam Stockmeyer.
Miles Nablo in relief of John Straka. It was huge again for the Redbirds. And there's strike 1. Good fastball there. There's a swing and a miss. Now 0-2. So Stockmeyer in a 0-2 hole is 0 for 3. Struck out twice. Those coming in the 3rd and the 4th. Grounded out to 3rd in the 7th. Here's a fly ball right side of the infield. Hoffman has it measured. Actually, Klepner from second comes over and 1 away. Klepner had the better angle coming over from second base. Runners stay put, 1st and 2nd, 1 away. Top of the order, Scott Benjamin, the center fielder. Benjamin struck out in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, fly ball to center in the 5th, reached on an error in the 7th. Big swing and a miss, and maybe a little challenging with the fastball. Redbirds trying to close it out. Advance to the Sunday game at 1 o'clock. Strike 2, another good live fastball. You can hear the pop of the mitt. Oh, 2 pitch. Hit in the air to right field toward the gap. That's going to get down for a hit. A runner around 3rd headed for the plate. That is a booming RBI double for Scott Benjamin. And it's 5-2. Sam Moss scores. Deaton all the way to the third. And now that'll bring up Thomas Mellon, the shortstop. Fly ball to right in the first, walked in the third, grounded out to the pitcher in the fifth, struck out in the seventh. First pitch hit in the air into shallow left field. Everybody coming on who's going to go out and making the catch. Brandon Arnold, the shortstop. Tough catch. And Mellon's retired. And now Northfield down to their final out. 2 away, a run in, runners at second and third, and a 5-2 ball game. Can Miles Nablo close it out against Alden Severson, who started at first, moved to second. He's walked and struck out in his other 3 plate appearances. 0 for 3. That one missing just outside. Ball 1. Want to know the count. Runners at second and third, 2 away. Severson could tie the game here. Big swing and a miss. Now 1-1. Tying run at the plate in Severson. Tim Moss waiting on deck. Moss has been hot tonight. 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. They'd like to keep the game alive. Here's one chopped back to the pitcher. Right up the middle into center field, a base hit. 1 run in. Second run coming to the plate. It's a 2 RBI single right up the middle for Severson. And it's now 5-4. How about that? Deaton scores easily. Benjamin follows him to the plate. And now Tim Moss with the tying run on base here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. And Miles Nablo trying to close it out. And as I mentioned a moment ago, Moss, the single in the second, the double in the fourth, the single in the sixth, and then he reached on an error in the 8th. The 0-1 hit on the ground toward third. Gobbled up by Gergella. Throw to first. In time, ball game. Good play by Gergella to retire Tim Moss. 5-3. Well, Northfield scores 3 in the 9th, but they fall short. The final in our ball game tonight, 5-4. Chanhassen beats Northfield 5-4 tonight, and they will advance to play the winner of the Champlain Park Meansville game Sunday at 1 o'clock here at Joe Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee. A big thanks to the folks here at the Joe and their friendly hospitality again on this Friday night. Big thanks to our camera operator, Phil McLaughlin. But we should tip our cap to the starting pitcher, John Straka. He is the winner, and Miles Nablo will ultimately get the save tonight. Final score, Redbirds 5-4. 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. For the Knights, 4 runs, 8 hits, and 3 errors. It's been a lot of fun tonight from the Joe. Once again, join us tomorrow for 3 games here from the State Amateur Class B tournament.
Thanks again for coming out, folks.
Champlain Park Meansville at 1, Elko Cold Spring at 4, and then Dundas and the Moorhead Brewers tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And then on Sunday, 2 games at 1 and 4 o'clock. Once again, good night from the Joe here on PrepSpotlight.tv. I'm Steve Thompson. Take care.
The 2020 Class B Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.